don't need a high-end designer or a lot of money to get a luxe look. Be your own interior designer.
This is Affordable Interior Design, the podcast.
Here's your host, Betsy Helmuth.
My next question comes from Bailey. Bailey is writing from coastal North Carolina, and she says, "Hi, Betsy. I'm working on decorating my new home, and I'm wondering what the rule is when it comes to rugs in a dining room. Are they necessary, and what do they really add to the room? I don't have an inspiration piece yet for my dining room, so I won't be getting a rug right now, but I'm curious how long I can go with bare floors." All right, Bailey. Maybe you've heard me say this before. My husband certainly has. It's a phrase I love to use in circumstances just like this. Should I get a, oh, okay. Let me cycle this back. Do you know what, guys? Just full disclosure. I have a horrible cut on my tongue. It is not the day to be podcasting because I have this horrible cut on my tongue that is very distracting and very painful whenever I'm talking. But I want to get these podcasts out in a timely manner. So tongue cut or no tongue cut, I will deliver content to you. So let me take it back. I have this phrase I like to use. Could and should. Could we go without a rug in the dining table? Sure. Should we go without a rug in the dining room? Absolutely not, Bailey. Because a rug in the dining room not only helps to break up the flooring in the table, because typically, as we just saw in Melissa's case, the floor is often wood in a dining room that's not carpeted, and the table's often wood. Most dining tables are wood. So we want to break up that wood on wood look. The other thing that we want to do is we want to create some kind of padding so that when we pull our chairs back and forth to and fro, we're not scratching the floors. And it's great that you don't have an inspiration piece because I love using a multicolored rug under a dining table because it will camouflage stains and spills, and it can serve as your inspiration piece. Now, when you're thinking about a rug for under a dining table, you want something relatively low pile. You don't want something thick and shaggy because it's going to capture the food and be very hard to clean. I myself love floor tiles, flor.com. I use floor tiles in dining rooms all the time, especially people who are a little bit messy, people who have younger children. It can be a game changer in terms of not having to worry about throwing the whole rug out when a bottle of wine should spill, when somebody drops, a whole bowl of marinara sauce with pasta. This kind of thing, you can just pop out one of the carpet squares and insert a new one, and it's much easier to kind of manage those issues. That being said, it's not the most luxurious look. A nice big rug is a better sort of visual experience, more high-end look than the carpet tiles, even though I have carpet tiles in my dining room and they look fabulous, if I do say so myself. So I would be going for a patterned rug that can be the inspiration piece. That's maybe one long, large piece if you don't have the concerns I mentioned. And I would be looking for something, this is the rule, right? That it has to be 30 to 36 inches larger than the table on every side where you're going to have a chair. Most people want to have the option to have head and foot chairs. So you're going to make sure that, say the table is 36 by 60. That's just a standard size. So 36 by 60, that's a good apartment size table. What you're going to do is you're going to add 30 inches or 36 inches to the head and the foot. That means the rug needs to be 60 inches plus another 60 inches. So that's 120, that's 10 feet, right? So 10 feet long. And then that 36-inch side, we're going to need 36 inches and 36 inches. So 36 plus 60 or 72. Well, that brings us to the perfect 8 by 10 rug size under a 36 by 60 inch table. Does that make sense? So a lot of people don't know this, or they don't assume this when they're watching HGTV or when they're, dreaming about becoming an interior designer. But I would say a good half of my work is mathematical. formulas, things that I use to determine where things go, how much space they need around them, what size of item I should be looking for. And then, of course, working with standard sizes I can find in stores to marry that custom function to the specific room to things I can actually find. So 50% of my job is math. And 50% of my job is art. And that's perfect for me because I love toggling back between right brain, left brain, right brain, left brain. But a lot of people assume that interior design is all art. Could not be more untrue, in my personal opinion. So there we go, Bailey. I've solved all your problems. And now you know that you should put down a dining room rug and you know just what you should be looking for. A big thank you to Aton and the Embassy who wrote our theme song. A shout out to Catherine Heller who owns the podcast shop and is our editor extraordinaire. We also want to thank Ginny Sunasan and her team at the Savvy Podcast Agency for their help with our social, our YouTube channel, and so much more. We also want to thank Uploft, which is our parent company who supports this podcast. And lastly, we owe a huge debt of gratitude to you. Thank you so much for tuning in and for all your support.